There's only two things that matter right now. There's this principle that I've used throughout my life, having a lot of success in business, and it is this. 20% of your efforts result in 80% of your results. You've probably seen this in your life. Some decisions are more important than others. It seems like all of these decisions you make over here have no effect. But then this one decision you make, who to marry, that one time you got into your car when you shouldn't have got into your car, right? Those decisions affect your life way more than the rest. And it's the same thing is true for every market right now. So pay attention to this video. Do you want to know what's going to happen to housing? What's going to happen to the job market? What's going to happen to inflation? What's going to happen with this war that we're having in Ukraine and Russia? What is going to happen with, more importantly, the price of Bitcoin? Are we going back up to all-time highs? Are we going to $10,000? Watch this video if you want to know the only two things that matter. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to explain them. In order for you to get the most out of this video, there's only one thing you need to do. You need to click on the video.
What's up, fam? Quick.
You need to do a really difficult task for me. I know it's super hard. Please just smash the like button. Please share this with one person who will benefit from it. If you learn something, that is what I would call the admission fee for this. If you learn something, do me that one solid and just smash the like button, share this with someone, and maybe, I don't know, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this, because every single day for the next 30 days, I'm going to try to make a video every single day for 30 days straight at the same time. And I'm just going to bring you the best content in crypto in general, fast as hell. Okay. And I'm going to talk about everything that's happening in the world and break it down into simple and easy terms to you to understand. So an example of simple shit to understand. The only two things that matter right now, let's just get into it, are two things. Okay. Number one, inflation. And number two, ding, 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 the war. Okay. And you know what war I'm talking about. I'm not going to get into the details here because YouTube might ban me. F you, YouTube. Okay, here's the, I don't know if the algorithms just heard that, but smash the like button to prevent the algorithms from crushing me. But here's the deal, guys. These are the only two things that matter for the price of everything right now. Now, I told you in this video yesterday that the jobs report came in bad. There's all these reports that come out that cause Bitcoin to go up and down on a day-to-day basis. But when it comes down to it, this chart is very, very simple, okay? I'm going to delete this. Remember the two things that are important, inflation and war. Okay, so when we look at this chart of Bitcoin, and this chart is just, it's the same for all markets, right? This chart is the exact same thing if you look at the stock market, right? It just goes straight down from a certain point. But let's look at Bitcoin because it's cleaner. Why did Bitcoin go down from $69,000? Very, very simple. I've talked about this for months. Inflation. Inflation got started here, which meant they turned the money printer off, which means we completely went down, okay? So that's number one, inflation. And then number two, adding to those fears is basically when the war started right here, okay? And so these are the two things that are hanging over the market right now. You can pretty much throw out everything else. It's like I said at the beginning of the video, 20% of your effort produces 80% of your results. You cannot tell me that if we get inflation to, right now, inflation is the issue, right? Inflation was going up, so all the markets were going down. You cannot tell me that if this reverses, that this right here also will not be true. Does that make sense? The markets will reverse. If we can get inflation to reverse, the markets will reverse. Same thing with this war, right? The war started, we'll just put it up. Guess what? Markets went down. What if the war ends? If the war ends, markets will go up. I mean, this is just common sense. And these two things, you cannot tell me right now that anything else, jobs, the housing market, whatever Joe Biden says, all this stuff that people on Twitter will yell about are more important than these two things, inflation and war. These are the most two important things. So let's break down where we're at with these. Number one on inflation, I've been very clear. We have demand destruction hitting the U.S. housing and consumers. The article that I would really encourage you to check out is this one from Raoul Pal. It's right here. It's terrifying charts. It's called Terrifying Charts from Real Vision. I don't know. But it really lists 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it lists all these charts, and you can go and look at these on your own time, that show a very simple concept, okay? Just look at my face. I can explain this. Imagine you have a lemonade stand, okay? And your lemonade stand is not on a very busy street. What happens? No one buys your lemonade, right? Your price was $5 when you started the day. You're like, we're going to get rich. We're going to get rich, baby. Come on, Billy. We're going to get rich. 2 o'clock rolls around, $3. 3 o'clock rolls around, $1. It's 4 o'clock. You're tired as shit. You've sold 3 glasses of lemonade. Billy, let's just lower our prices to 25 cents. And finally, you sell 1 cup and you're like, yay! That's what's happening in the market, okay? There is no demand. If there's no demand, guess what happens? The price, just like the lemonade, has to come down. I just explained global macroeconomics for you in 1 minute. You're welcome. Supply and demand. It all comes back to supply and demand. So we have no demand. We have no demand. So demand is getting crushed by the Fed right now. No demand, which means inflation is already going to come down on its own. This is guaranteed. Okay, I can't type. I can't draw. Inflation. Inflation is coming down on its own. So we've already taken care of number one. The number one problem is inflation. So if that comes down, what we know is that in a certain amount of time, the Fed will turn the money printer back on. That is a guarantee. Okay, so inflation is going to come down. The Fed's going to turn the money printer on. We have CPI data next week. That's very, very important. So I'm not really concerned with inflation. Inflation is the number one reason that we went down. I was put IN, right? This is taken care of. Check. We're good here. I think that over the course of the next few months, inflation will be shown to be coming down and the markets will have a nice relief and Bitcoin will go to 30K, just like I've been saying for literal months. And it's the reason I changed my name on Twitter to 30K before 20K, before 15K. Okay. Now, the second thing, the war. I can't talk too much about this on YouTube for fear of getting banned, but it's very, very simple. We have an idiot in office. This guy is a loser. Listen to this.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America. Woo! We have a genius. We have a genius who doesn't know what 2 words are leading this country. So even though we have Senile Joe here leading the world, what I do think is that this whole war, this whole, this thing that we've been funding in Ukraine is politically unfeasible. And just like I explained the lemonade stand to you, that was global macroeconomics. Let me just explain this whole Ukraine situation to you in 1 minute, okay? It's like this. No one wants it anymore, okay? The people, smash the like button on this video if you are sick and tired of sending your taxpayer dollars. You pay taxes in this effing country, and they're supposed to help people in this effing country. But no, guess what they do? They get sent to a war that we should have no business in, and they're just sending all our money off. I am not the only one. Please share this and smash the like button if I'm not the only one that thinks that this is the stupidest thing ever. And I'm not. I'm watching the tides shift. It's just like COVID. It's just like all these other movements that we've had the past 2 years. People get all, stand with Ukraine, and all of a sudden they have the flags in their yards, and then all of a sudden there's no more flags in the yards, right? Like all of a sudden they're like, oh, this is bullshit. It's just propaganda. We shouldn't be doing this. The tides are turning. So my question is, how long does it take for this guy, even though he is a complete idiot and doesn't know how many 3 words are, how long does it take for this war to be politically unfeasible? They are not going to be able to continue this. So what they're going to do is they're going to find peace. They're going to find peace. And when they find peace, I'm telling you that markets are going to do the biggest green candle you've ever seen in your entire life. And I think this is coming soon. We have midterm elections coming up, and the Democrats cannot afford to lose the House and the Senate, which they are going to no matter what. But I think we're going to find peace here shortly. I know it doesn't seem like it. I think things are escalating right now. But usually things escalate right before people broker a deal, right? And so I think we're going to get peace. Hallelujah. Praise Jesus. Hopefully. I mean, it's hard to say because, like I said, you got a complete imbecile leading this country. But I do think that we're going to have peace and we're going to go up. So when you have think about it, guys. When you know for sure that the 2 most important factors in the markets right now are headed your way, inflation's coming down, which means markets can go up, and the war is likely closer to over than it is to not over, I think that now is the perfect time to buy Bitcoin. It's the perfect time to buy certain coins. It's the perfect time to get involved in the community. Look, check out all the links below. That's all I got. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.